Welcome. We are here with two rising stars in boxing, just the kind of guys I like to talk to early. We have Dominic and Marques Valle. And yeah, you guys are brothers.
Yes.
Boxing brothers and a long tradition of boxing brothers. You got the Klitschko's, you got Juan Manuel and Rafael Marquez, you got the Norris brothers, you have the Charlo brothers and the Benavides brothers right now. And you are the latest, the Valle brothers.
Yep.
You are training. You currently in Florida, correct? Waiting for your Telemundo card on Thursday, March 12th.
That's right.
Friday. Sorry about that. Oh, we got an extra day. Friday, March 12th. Tell us a little about your amateur career.
Well, I was as an amateur 41-3, and I won the National Silver Gloves and the National Junior Olympics.
And I got 3 silver medals in the men's national elite category. And I went to the Olympic trials and I did pretty good, but didn't finish that one off.
So what made you guys decide to join the pro ranks? Was it a discussion that you had together?
I mean, it was all about the right time, you know. We started boxing late a little, so we wanted to get as much national experience with top guys, and we did excellent with all tournaments. So it makes sense at this point, to turn pro and start the career.
We just knew it was time. We knew we were ready to do it, so we just take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned you started a little late in boxing. What brought you to boxing in the first place as younger men?
My dad introduced it to us. He got me into it when I was 9 years old, and I had one fight, but I was just a kid. I wasn't really. He was just kind of letting me try it out myself, and then I just did my own thing. And then when I turned 15 or 16, me and him both at the same time, we were like trying to get into a gym just for fitness, And we started the first week we were there. We knew we wanted to fight, and we just set our mind to it, and that's what we've been ever since.
Were you always athletically inclined? Did you participate in other sports as youth?
I mean, boxing, it was always the number one thing. We just didn't really get started with it later, but for as long as I can remember, I just always knew I wanted to be I knew I just wanted to be a boxer. That's all I ever had in my mind.
All right. I played baseball when I was younger, but
Well, between boxing and baseball, they're both practically national sports in Puerto Rico. And there's a long boxing tradition, which I'm sure you two both know about. Does that help inspire, fuel you, give you a point of focus for your training?
Yeah, it's what started the fire. We watched a lot of great Puerto Rican fighters, and Miguel Cotto is one of the main ones that, he was in our era, We watched him fight, and it was just, we both wanted to just represent the country of Puerto Rico like he did.
It seems there's a real fresh rising tide of Puerto Rican talent. Are you seeing that? You see that you're all sort of giving energy to each other as this new generation comes forward?
Definitely. There's a lot of great fighters coming up right now, and soon to be mentioned. We're going to be mentioned with all the great fighters coming up. Puerto Rico's looking good for the near future.
For fans who haven't seen you yet, what should they expect to see? Describe your styles. Are they similar?
Actually, I mean, we kind of have a different style. It's close, but we have our own unique ways. I'm more of a puncher. I don't get tired. I walk people down and don't try not to get hit and get them out of there.
Yeah, I'm like, what I always say is we're gonna bring the old style, the old Puerto Rican style of boxing back, and that's fighting, and that's giving the fans what they want to see, and that's our style just matches perfectly with what the fans like to see. We're in there to finish the job and do it in exciting way.
Boxing isn't a team sport, but you do have to have a team around you, and you do have to have support around you. Does being brothers supporting each other and knowing what you go through give you an advantage?
I think so. I think having somebody with the same drive and motivation as you, it brings you to a new level.
My hardest competition is my brother, and we compete every day with each other, and no matter what it is, we're always competing to be better than each other.
Have you always been competitive with each other, just as brothers, do with everything?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Always. That's the way it is.
Down to the clothes, the shoes, the haircut, everything.
Okay, so who's got the coolest shoes, coolest haircut?
The shoes, that's got to be by me for sure, by far. And I'm gonna say haircuts. My haircuts are better too because he's the one that gives them to me. So,
Well, damn, what do you do better than your brother? He's
Oh man, he's
pressing you down here.
I keep him up. We do the same things every day. We train together. We everything. We eat the same meals. It's the same thing. So I just push him to be a better him, and he pushes me to be a better me. So.
Who have you styled yourself after? Do you have role models in boxing? Would you that you look to for inspiration and tips?
Definitely Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad, Canelo for sure, like the best pound boxer right now in the world, and definitely those three for sure.
And you?
I mean, it's the same. I take what I see good in fighters. I pick it from whoever. I pick the minds of people. I can't just set my mind on one fighter. I pick from the mind of this one, the feet of this one, the strength of this one, the speed. So I'm trying to be the best fighter all around I can be.
What are your goals for this sort of first year of your professional career? And you're also coming up in the age of COVID, so it's been weird for everybody.
My goal for sure is I want to put the boxing world on notice, and I don't want to. I want to do it in a spectacular way. I want people to, when they hear my name, be drawn to fights, knowing they're going to be witnessing the best fights possible. I want
when people hear the Valle brothers are fighting, they get excited and they want to find out where, when, can they go? I want everybody to be excited every time they hear our names.
Well, fingers crossed, we're going to get some fans back in the seats, more nation and worldwide, if possible. Do you want to try to fight on cards together, or does it matter?
It's good to fight together, but to me, it doesn't really matter. No matter what,
we're gonna be there regardless with each other.
Yeah, we're there to put on a show, and whether it's together or by ourselves, it's gonna be an exciting night for everybody.
Well, the Charlo brothers had a very successful, dual main card here in the last year. Do you see yourself doing something like that, perhaps, in the future?
Definitely that and more. That's the goal for sure. That's what we're here for.
I love that.
So, Dominic, tell me what your brother's greatest strength in the ring is.
No doubt, his power. I've never seen nobody walk him down, push him back. Never in all 8 years of boxing.
And Marques, the other way around. What's your brother's greatest strength?
He's very smart. He's got a little bit of everything. He's very smart, and he's got very sneaky power. he's very strong, and his eyes are great. So he's good.
And one thing that this current generation of fighters is very, very good at is interacting with the fans and carrying on a relationship through social media with the fans. Is that something you're developing and working on as you see some of the other rising stars, the Teofimo Lopez's, the Ryan Garcia's doing? Is that important to you as well, to have that ongoing relationship?
Definitely in this era, the way boxing is now, that you need to have that. Fans, they want to feel, they want to interact with you. They want to know your lifestyle. They want to see things they've never seen before. So when you're able to share that with people on Instagram and Facebook and all of that, it gets them even more excited to watch you fight.
You think that's what it's going to take to grow a new generation audience in boxing? We are competing boxing with, some other sports taking some of the air out of the room. Is it possible? We do it?
That's it for sure. The social media and you got to make the best fights possible. You got to make the fights the fans want to see, and that's it. That's the only negative talk anybody talks about boxing. Other than that, everybody loves every other aspect of boxing.
Well, that seems to be also the current tide with the current generation of stars, the under 25s. You're all real impatient. You don't want to wait. Are you right there with those guys all on that score?
Definitely, we're gonna take it one fight at a time and build our career the right way, the way you're supposed to. With our manager, Tim Van Nieuwhouse, guiding the way and listening to our dad and our coaches.
Well, the one last thing I have to ask you, where can people follow you on social media? Give us the details.
Mine is my first and last name. It's Marques Valle, MarquesValle. That's Instagram. And I only really use Instagram, so I got to expand a little more.
You're not in the cesspool that is boxing Twitter yet, huh? Okay. Dominic, how about you?
Mine is Dominic Valle _ for Instagram, and then just Dominic Valle for Facebook too.
Great. Gentlemen, good luck to you. Great meeting you. Hope the fans enjoy your fights coming up on Friday and beyond.
Thanks for having us.